Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Big Hitters. Today, it's a deadline stream coming from us. The game week 31 deadline just under half an hour away, as usual. And as usual, we've got Ludo and Jake. Hello, guys.
Hello.
And as usual, we're keeping an eye on the live chat, as you can see to the right of the screen. And as usual, um, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. The Big Kids on YouTube. Make sure you click that subscribe button and smash the like button, as Ludo would say. Smash it. Break that like button. We are also on social media, Twitter and Instagram at Big Hitters FPL. And finally, I think Jake or Ludo will reveal to us the standings of the league, which you can join our Fantasy Premier League if you enter the code 01TOQK. So how's the league looking?
Jake, would you want to do it or?
Sure. Yes. The league's increased even more. Got more participants. There's 24 now, with another 2 managers joining this week. So turning out to be a big league. And I've dropped down into 8th, which isn't great. And Noah's only 2 places behind me now. So disappointing. I'll go through top 5. In 5th, we've got AC Hobed, Obedience Agu on 641 points. In 4th place, Rubber Ducky FC, 649 points. 3rd, Farouk 050, 651 points. 2nd, top 2 and newcomers to the league, Sam United AFC on 653 points. And first place, well, joint first with second place, I guess, is Konichiwan Bisaka, also on 653 points.
Very nice. So is that a draw at the top?
Yes.
Wow. That doesn't get much more entertaining than that. So yeah, make sure you join that league. See if you can overthrow those top 2. Right. So first thing we should probably do in this deadline stream is reveal our own teams. So let's do that. We've all made our transfers now, I think. Yep, all done.
Yeah.
So these are our final teams. Yeah, sorry about that. The background noise. Someone is doing some dodgy drilling in my house. I'm not even sure where or who, but there's some drilling going on. Anyway, right. My team is up here first, and I've made my 2 transfers for a 4-hit. I have brought in both Nat Phillips and Bern Leno, who both come into the lineup for their debut. Apart from that, I've got classic 4-5-1, not very classic, but 4-5-1. Nat Phillips comes in straight away. Azpilicueta, Diaz, and Cresswell in the defence, although I have a feeling Diaz will get benched. But anyway, Lingard, Gundogan, Rafinha. I've got Fernandes, Vice, Salah captain, and Kane up top. On my bench, I've left a mixture of Villa and Leeds players. I've got the 3 Villa players all on the bench. They're playing. Oh God, it's happened again! They're drilling again. So 3 Villa players on the bench, all playing versus Liverpool. I've decided to start Rafinha because I brought Nat Phillips in this week, so I kind of have to hope he gets a clean sheet. So I've benched Watkins, but I'm pretty happy with how that team's looking. -4 hit, but pretty good.
Yeah, pretty strong.
Right, Ludo's team is up next.
Yeah, so I am parking the bus just like Arsenal do.
Wow.
So I've got so my 2 transfers are so I brought Dallas out for Trent and Bamford out for Il Nascio. Bit of a differential there, I hope. So I hope he can score. At the minute, I've got a dilemma on 2 aspects of my team: the goalkeeping position and my captaincy and vice captaincy as well. So something to think about. At the minute, on my phone, on the app, I've got Sanchez playing ahead of Martinez. Whilst on here, I've got Martinez ahead of Sanchez. And also on the app, I've put KDB as captain, but Ilnacio as vice captain. So that might come in very, very handy if I need it. Sorry for the
Oh god,
background
that's horrible.
noise.
I'm gonna have to change that. I'm gonna have to mute myself or something. Sorry about that. Go on, Ludo.
So yeah, quite happy team.
Not that happy.
If I had my wild card, then I'd be taking taking hits at this minute is quite tempting. So
it's a pretty strong team. I mean, the only negative is the goalkeeper situation, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think you should stick KDB captain. Definitely. I'm not sure about vice actually.
In your opinion, who should I captain and vice captain?
I say, and I'm a United fan, so I don't really want to be saying this, but I think vice on Kane, you can't really go wrong.
Yep.
Interesting. I'd actually, I think I'd vice Kane. I mean, when you're vicing, you kind of want to vice a premium because I mean you might as well. So then Kane's quite reliable, I'd say, and I could see him scoring against Manchester United. And then goalkeeper situation. Are you still considering?
Yeah, I think Brighton have been quite defensively solid. Sorry for the background.
Can you still hear it?
Yes,
Oh no,
I
I
can.
don't think the stream can hear it because I've muted myself, so it's all good.
Okay. Anyways, tell us in the chat if you can hear the background noise, because we really care about our customers. Anyways, so yeah, I think Brighton have been defensively solid at the minute, and I can see them keeping a clean sheet against an inconsistent Everton side. So I think I'll be playing Sanchez ahead of Martinez. That's one dilemma sorted. Smith Rowe. I don't think he'll start though, will he? No.
I think he will. I think he has to.
And
We've got some bad injury problems at Arsenal.
Got quite a strong bench, with Watkins included. Now, the reverse fixture of Aston Villa versus Liverpool was 7-2 to Aston Villa. Bit of a surprise. Not sure though that's going to be. I'm not sure if it's going to be a similar scoreline in this time around, but I'm really not sure with my bench because it's very strong. Who should I play?
Jake?
Well, yeah, definitely. My opinion, Sanchez over Martinez, which I think you're already doing. I think you've probably got it right at the moment, to be honest. Shaw may be a bit risky. I mean, you could play maybe Souček over Shaw. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Shaw could possibly get an attacking return against Spurs, so you never know.
I'm just going to keep it like this.
Mm-hmm.
But the only change I've made is I've put Kane as vice captain. The only problem I have is what if Kevin De Bruyne plays for the last 10 minutes? I don't think he will. Well, Pep doesn't do that with his big players, to be honest. So I'll keep it like that, I think. So that's me done for the minute. Obviously, in the chat, say what you think I should do in this very hard situation that I'm in.
Right. I think you should keep the bench the same, vice Kane and play Sanchez. But let us know in the chat what you think about those. just to address something said in the chat, Shawal Daniel said United fan but no Bruno. Ludo has got no Bruno, but he's not a United fan. Jake, United fan, definitely got Bruno in his team. Let's see who else Jake has got. What's the team looking like?
Yeah, so Bruno has actually got the vibes against Spurs. But I think Jota will play anyway, or at least get some minutes off the bench. So I don't think I should be worried about that. So yeah, obviously, captaincy still on Jota. And I'm taking an 8 hit this week. I've brought Nat Phillips like Nurin, hoping that the score stays relatively low on the Aston Villa side in the reverse fixture for his debut, as Noah would like to call it. So yeah, that's the only change I've made since the preview pod a couple of days ago. So yeah, I decided to bench Cresswell for Nat Phillips. So yeah, I brought Nat Phillips in for target and decided to bench Cresswell. Mainly because Son. Well, it was between Son and Cresswell, and I decided to bench Cresswell because Son has a higher ownership, and I don't know. I just too scared to take a risk, I guess. One more. Well, a problem is probably City rotation. I mean, both Diaz and Gundogan could be benched. I think Diaz. Sorry, yeah, both of them started in the Champions League, so could be a bit risky. But otherwise, I think it's a fairly strong team.
Yeah, I like your team. I know you're worried about Pep rotation, but I'd say you've got a pretty strong bench there. I'm not sure if this is just what you've written, but I'd probably reorder it a bit and put Bamford ahead of Watkins. I know it's a small thing,
Really?
but I think especially if Ruben Diaz is rotated, which he might be, and then you get Cresswell and Watkins coming on, I think without Diaz, Bamford could easily score. Just what I'd say. Food for
Maybe,
thought.
possibly.
Right. No, apart from that, solid team. I like that. I have noticed that for the first time in a while, actually, because we all went Kane last week, we have actually all gone with three different captains. So I've gone Salah, Ludo's gone KDB, and Jake's gone Jota. So we'll see. Interesting to see who does the best out of those three. Uh, Ludo obviously is a bit annoyed that we didn't answer his question. Should he play Smith Rowe? Jake says no in the chat. You guys
No.
realize we are here streaming live. Yeah, okay. But let's
I
answer.
know.
What's
Ludo, no.
why?
I just think, I mean, a few months ago, maybe a bit more, Smith Rowe was a big deal. He was getting quite a few returns, and he was on everybody's watch list. And I know he's had an injury, but he just doesn't look. He doesn't look as much of a threat as he used to look, in my opinion.
Maybe this is my Arsenal bias,
Yeah.
but I would play him. I'm 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 not sure because he's got a strong team. Except aside from him, I don't know. I'd maybe bench Shaw, but I'd want to play him because one thing I'm pretty much 100% sure he's going to start. And I'm pretty much 100% sure. Oh, that's actually quite risky to say, but I think we'll beat Sheffield United. We're at bottom of the league, going down. I think we'll beat them, and I would not be surprised if he did get at least an assist. So I quite like him as an option this week.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think that Smith Rowe hasn't really, if I'm correct, in these.
Yeah.
He hasn't been, he's been a bit sort of out of favour. Not out of favour, but not.
No, not out of
Not
favour
out,
at all.
not out of favour, but not first choice, shall I
No,
say.
again, I would not agree with that.
So
I
you think it's first choice?
I think Arsenal have got a problem on the left because Aubameyang is not doing any. He's not working hard at all. Not tracking back. Pepe, I don't think Arteta trusts him. So he plays one of Lacazette and Aubameyang up top. I'm not sure who that will be on Sunday. I reckon it'll be I reckon it'll be Aubameyang. But then we have Odegaard probably centrally if he's fit. On the right, Saka, and on the left, you're only left with Smith Rowe. So I think he has to play.
I mean, look, I think the problem is that it's not about your. I mean, in the nicest possible way, Arteta doesn't really care about your opinion. So
I'm giving you what I think Arteta's thinking.
Oh, so are you saying that he's going to bench Aubameyang? Are you saying that?
No, I said that Aubameyang will play over Lacazette this week, I think. Lacazette played yesterday, didn't play very well, so maybe Aubameyang goes up top next week. But Smith Rowe plays on the left.
Yeah, I guess.
Ludo, can you please stop spamming the chat with Alonso?
Exactly. Right. Let's move on. I'm gonna have to time Ludo out. This is not good enough.
No.
Right. Okay. So let us know what you think of our little debates there. I think I'm right. Gonna say. We'll see what happens in the starting 11 against Sheffield United, and we'll see what happens when Smith Rowe bangs in a hat trick and he's left on your bench. Anyway, let's talk now about the fixtures coming up in being week 31, and we'll probably spotlight one from this fixture list. So tonight, starting off with Fulham Wolves, then City Leeds, Liverpool Villa, Palace Chelsea, a banger of a Saturday there. And then Sunday, Burnley Newcastle, West Ham Leicester, Tottenham Manchester United, Sheffield United versus Smith Rowe and Arsenal. And then on Monday, West Brom Southampton, Brighton Everton. So who's on spotlight duty? Anyone want to go on spotlight duty?
Well, yeah, I'll just say one. Obviously, like when you look at the fixture list, your eyes will probably be drawn at Man City Leeds or Spurs versus Man United, because obviously Man City Leeds, two great managers confronting each other. But I'm actually going to go for a fixture which really is pivotal for the top four race, and that is West Ham United versus Leicester City. I think West Ham are fourth, are they? And Leicester are
third. Yeah.
Third, yeah. The reason I'm not picking the Man United game is I just think, Man United will probably win, perhaps, but it doesn't really matter because I don't think Spurs are going to get into the top four because Spurs are Spurs at the moment. At the minute, the fact that they're parking the bus when they're 1-0 up at Newcastle suggests that there's a problem with their mentality. I'm really not sure, but there is a real problem with their mentality, and they're consistent. They always bottle it in the end. So, Joe Willock getting his revenge
in Arsenal blood.
But yeah. Joe Willock on the mission. But I'm not sure about you guys, but that's my standout fixture: West Ham Leicester.
I think.
Yeah.
I think we're looking.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What I would say about the fixture list is there are a lot of unpredictable matches, even stuff like West Brom and Southampton, two teams at the bottom-ish, hard to predict. Burnley, Newcastle, bottom teams, hard to predict. And then you've got the big clashes, Tottenham and United. Ludo said what shambles Tottenham are in. I agree. And I love to see it. But again, it could go either way. It's 6-1 last time. So, and then West Ham Leeds, I think you're very right to point out it's huge for the top four fight. So, yeah, I like that. And I think it'll be a very, very good game. But obviously, Man City Leeds seems to be the one for this week.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think it'll be an interesting game. Obviously, because West Ham are without Declan Rice, and we saw them concede 2 goals against Wolves without him. I think Maddison might start this week for Leicester. So it'll be interesting to see how that balance plays out. And just one other thing, we haven't mentioned Liverpool Aston Villa.
Go on then. You want to talk about it?
Obviously, in my opinion, is probably the elephant in the room with the reverse fixture being Aston Villa. But I think it'll be. I mean, Aston Villa obviously are not as strong as they were earlier in the season, and Liverpool probably regaining their form. But I think it'll just be interesting to see how it pans out.
Yeah, I think it will be much tighter than last time.
Yeah.
You know, we might be seeing a draw because Liverpool against Madrid weren't great, and you know Madrid aren't even that good, to be honest. You know, but yeah, get your score predictions in the chat for West Ham Leicester, our spotlighted match.
What do we think? What are our predictions?
Should we go through should we go through the predictions for this
Let's just do the big ones.
the games?
Yeah. So Man City Leeds
Um,
predictions.
Well, I would go for I'm going for 4-1 Leeds. Sorry, 4-1 City. 4-1 City.
Cool.
I'm gonna go 2-0 City.
I'm gonna go 3-1 City.
All gone different.
Liverpool Villa.
Yeah, as Ludo said, it's definitely going to be much closer. I think I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool, which obviously isn't good.
Yeah,
with
I agree with Jake.
Phillips.
Spot on.
I'd go for a 2-0 to Liverpool. Right. I feel like I should probably include this, otherwise Ludo will get very angry. But Palace Chelsea.
I'm personally going for 2-0 Chelsea. I mean, I say this every week, but I think we'll be seeing Timo Werner. No, on a serious note, I actually think that you heard it here first, that Tammy Abraham will score on the 28th minute.
Whoa, that was very specific.
Yeah. I think Tuchel hinted that Abraham might start because Abraham's obviously out of favour and he's. I expect some sort of, you know, anger from Abraham in a positive way, not him getting red carded, but yeah.
Jake, Crystal Palace Chelsea.
Yeah, probably stick with Ludo 2-0.
I'll go 1-0. 1-0 Chelsea. West Ham Leicester, the spotlighted game. Predictions.
You go
I think it'll be a pretty high scoring match. I'm gonna go 2-2.
I was about to say that actually.
Hey.
I agree with. I hate to be the boring one, but I agree with.
I agree with Jake too. 2-2. Tottenham United.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if that also ended up 2-2. But probably going to go 2-1 United.
Same for me.
I am going to say something very regular we've seen this season. Massive build up to the game, but then it finishes 0-0. So I'm going for 0-0.
Cool. And then last one, I guess I'll have to include it because I want to. Sheffield United versus Arsenal.
Why?
I'm going for 2-0 Arsenal. Aubameyang brace.
1-0 Sheffield United.
4-1 Arsenal. You heard it here first. 4-1. I'm going with. Right. Okay. 3 minutes to the deadline. Let's take a look at some stats which have looked interesting. As usual, we've got the offensive stats for the teams. Thanks to @FPL_updates_ on Twitter for these graphics. So as you can see here, the offensive stats for the teams: City very much leading the way. Tottenham just behind. Leicester, Chelsea, Southampton there on the shots on target. Any surprises? for you guys?
Well, you've said Spurs have been shambolic or in shambles. Yeah, I mean they're pretty high on the offense. They've been scoring quite a few goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. One thing to point out is obviously I think it's pretty obvious because they're bottom of the league. But I just want to talk about Sheffield United. Do you think that it's Sheffield United that they've dropped their standards, or do you think the league's increased in standard? Because it's quite a surprise that they've just from a mid-table team seem to get results from now just being completely, they can't do anything.
Well, they've been dreadful this season. Dreadful. So
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't say it's much of a rise in the quality of the league. I'd say they've been awful. They've lost a lot of key defensive players because last season they weren't winning matches, 4-2, 5-2. They're winning the 1-0, 2-0. And when the defense makes way, as it's done this season, they're not going to be able to score enough goals to win as many matches. So I think they've massively dropped.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, but I think the standard of the league has probably increased. I mean, we've seen that the top four contenders is much wider than normal. But yeah, I don't think that's as much of a factor as they have been really poor this season.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry to
it's
interrupt.
deadline, isn't it?
Might I add? There's 1 minute till the deadline.
Okay.
Luckily, there's no big decisions to be
Well,
made
Ludo, are you
this
all
week.
done with your team? All good?
So just to clarify, Sanchez goal, De Bruyne
Just put your team back
captain,
up on the screen.
Kane. Yeah. So yeah. So the only thing is that Sanchez will be playing, and that the vice captain has actually moved to Kane. You can't go wrong with Kane, can you? So, what do you think about my decision making?
I like that.
Has it been
I think
impressive?
that's fine. All good. I think you got it right. Well, I guess we'll see, but
Yeah.
I think you got it right. Right, so that is the deadline passed. My team nice and locked in. Salah captain. Ludo, as he just said, locked in. Jake with Jota captain. So we can no longer change that. Of course, Wolves, Fulham coming up soon. Last thing before we go is maybe these defensive stats. What do you think of those? Any surprises there? Liverpool have done well. Brighton, they're up there.
West Brom have crept on there.
Oh yeah, wow, impressive.
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, I think they've been all right, West Brom. To be honest, well, somehow they just managed to turn into prime Barcelona when they face Chelsea. But other than that, yeah, Brighton have been. They're really solidifying themselves. Don't you think nation zone? But there's been a tweak somehow. Quite difficult to beat now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
United have been doing pretty well lately.
yeah. United and Liverpool leading for goals conceded. Brighton leading for expected goals conceding. So maybe it's a case of Liverpool and United being lucky.
Lucky.
Well, look, if you look at their expected goals conceded per match, it's a lot higher than the actual goals they've conceded.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, you know what? I
Maybe that's just down to maybe Dean Henderson doing well in goal.
well,
I don't know. It's hard to.
I mean, expected. Yeah, isn't it quite low? Are you looking at goals conceded?
Well, if you look at their goals conceded, it's 0.33 per match. If you're looking at their ex goals conceded, it's a lot higher.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they're getting a bit lucky. Maybe they've got a good goalkeeper.
Yeah. I think a bit of both. I think they've. I mean, they've somehow just not really performed this season, but yet are in a good position.
Okie dokie. Ludo pointing out that we've got some great content. So hopefully you agree that this has been some great content. That is it for the show today. We've locked in our teams. First match coming up this evening. Might not be a huge match unless you've invested in Wolves. You know, Connor Cody, Pedro Neto, Ryan 8 Nuri, my sneaky differential from the previous podcast, if you remember. But apart from that, for us anyway, not much riding on tonight's match. We have got coming up for you a preview podcast sometime next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably around that time, and then a deadline stream. Not sure, it might be Friday or Saturday, depending on the deadline, obviously. Again, Fantasy League code, which will be updated come tonight because of the new matches. 01TOQK, Instagram, Twitter at Big Hitters FPL. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. And thank you all for coming. Thank you very much. Bye bye.